Hello and welcome to my easy to understand guide to this Daily Mirror cover and article from 2021. This video is going to be particularly relevant for you if you are studying AQA GCSE Media Studies, as it's currently one of the set texts on that specification. The masthead of the newspaper, the Daily Mirror, helps us to kind of see this newspaper as a reflection. A mirror literally reflects. So this idea that the masthead helps us see that this newspaper is going to potentially reflect our daily lives and the world's news to us. There's a little kind of strapline next to this which says the heart of Britain, and that strapline kind of makes the newspaper seem quite important and central to the country. It gives it this idea of the fact that it's patriotic. You can see there's lots of large pictures on this front cover and lots of small chunks of text, and that suggests that the reading age for the Daily Mirror is quite low. Actually, I think the reading age for the Daily Mirror is about 9 years of age, so the average reader can read at about a 9-year-old level. So lots of large images and small bits of simple text reflects that tabloid readership. Lots of use of bold headlines, sans serif fonts, make it very engaging to read, particularly from a distance if this was on a shelf. And again, it's very simple and easy to understand. You'll see a large image of Meghan Markle on the front cover in the top right hand corner, and this kind of exclusive content that it says. And this acts as a unique selling point, a USP. Having a celebrity or a famous person or a famous figure, particularly a royal, on your front cover of your newspaper is a great way of engaging audiences and making it seem quite exciting and special. The use of the facts and figures within this cover line, so the use of the number 10, for example, makes it seem like this is quite a big story, that a lot of people have been affected by this. The word bully makes it seem quite negative and perhaps gives quite a negative representation of Meghan Markle. Her shocked face in the image makes the article seem as though it's going to be very dramatic and exciting, and it acts as a bit of an enigma code for the audience, drawing us in and making us want to read more about what's gone on. There's the use of some quite dramatic wording as well. If you look at the caption on the Meghan Markle picture, they describe the words, the fact that this is a crisis and this is a kind of smear campaign. It makes it feel really dramatic. Over on the left, you've got a small cover article suggesting that there's going to be something inside about holidays. This feels quite escapist. It's offering a fantasy to the audience of going on holiday, and particularly when you think about 2021 and the fact that a lot of us have been in lockdown for the best part of a year and a half. And so a lot of people would have been dreaming about going away at this point. The use of direct address here, where it says your essential guide, that helps to engage the audience directly. So the bottom of the paper, the bottom half kind of has the main cover article advertised on the front here. And you can see that there's a lot of bias within this article. So in the top part, it says Nurses Paltry Pay Award. That word paltry has really negative connotations of being far too small and pathetic. So it immediately gives you the impression of how the Mirror feel about how nurses are treated. The Mirror is clearly offering a very specific viewpoint here, that nurses are treated very badly by the government. Underneath that, the actual main cover line as well, the main headline, an insult to the NHS heroes. So very clearly, again, suggesting the values and ideologies of this newspaper. Calling these NHS workers heroes, again, really clearly representing them as being the kind of victims in all this, the people who we are to support as an audience. So clearly positioning the audience in a way where we're encouraged to support the NHS and see the government as the kind of villains in this. The use of the word just when talking about their pay rise, just £3.50 a week. The word just kind of implies that this is too little, it's not enough. So it's a very loaded word. It emphasises the small nature of the money they're getting. There's quite a few negative words within that small bit of text there as well. So just to give you a few examples, it says the Tories have proposed a derisory 1% pay rise. So the derisory is quite a negative word. It feels quite insulting. They also, there's a quote where it says the worst kind of insult. And they talk about Rishi Sunak failed to mention. So there's some real negative words that paint the Conservative Party in quite a negative light. Let's have a look at the article that comes with this cover as part of the set text. Again, you've got a very large image and a very small amount of writing, so they've tried to make this as simple as possible for readers. The article is about Amazon, so that's a really familiar brand to a lot of audiences. Familiarity is quite important in a newspaper article to engage readers. The headline is quite simple and easy to understand, which targets those readers who might have trouble understanding a more complex story about things like finances and the retail industries. They use words like threat to really clearly indicate to the audience how they should feel about this story, and again, to make it feel quite dramatic and scary. Similarly to that, you've got the word warning underneath there in the bottom. And again, that adds this element of danger, and it suggests that it kind of acts as an action code that something bad will happen in the future as a result of this. The use of the little kind of table on the left-hand side of the picture gives you a really easy to understand way of, appreciating the benefits of this kind of Amazon Fresh style of shopping. So the use of kind of, boxes and tables to make information easy to understand. The article focuses on job losses, and it mentions losses to jobs several times in the copy. And that's important because the readers of the Daily Mirror are primarily working class, and job losses will really affect them. So it's important to understand how this article has been chosen particularly to engage those readers. On the right hand side of the article about Amazon, it actually says that they're discussing whether this is the best use of public money, this tax cut for Amazon. And I think that a lot of members of the public are really interested into how their money is being spent by the government. And this kind of creates this quite anti-establishment, anti-government viewpoint, where it's clear that they don't trust the government with the way the public's money is being spent. So really creating this brand of the Daily Mirror as being quite rebellious against the Conservative government. On the left there, you've got an article about Alastair Campbell. So he's kind of a former MP for Labour. And you can kind of see down the left, there's quite a lot of use of simple language here. So it says Campbell went into a shop, but on leaving it, saw the man back in his car. And it carries on. So the article is not written in complex jargon. It's written in very simple written language. And again, that helps to make it easy to understand for audiences. And there's the use of colloquialism in there as well. So when he confronted him, the man squared up in quotation marks. So this use of kind of slang or colloquialisms will help appeal to that more kind of working class or lower educated audience. They use the word goon to describe the person that attacked Alastair Campbell, and that word has quite a lot of negative connotations, making the person seem quite violent and aggressive. In turn, this makes Alastair Campbell seem like the hero or the victim in this situation, painting him in a more positive light. And this perhaps reflects the Daily Mirror's Labour supporting values. On the left-hand side, you'll also see a kind of mini article down the side here focusing on what it calls a Labour hero. So again, quite positive language about Labour, and that contrasts to the negative language about the Conservatives that was on the front cover. So that was my easy to understand guide to the Daily Mirror cover and article that appears on the AQA GCSE Media Studies specification. Don't forget to check out my channel for other videos that are going to be useful for you. And if there are any videos that you would like that I don't already have, just leave a little comment below and I'll see what I can do.